This tutorial is going to show you how to rotate a layer on your timeline. We see this in our green screen techniques video lesson, where they show one of their actors spinning as they fall down a black hole. In this example, the group is recreating the Fresh Prince of Bel-Air TV show theme, in which Will Smith, as the Fresh Prince, sits on a throne that spins upside down. Here's how the group recreated this spin effect in Pinnacle. Now, I've already pulled the clip onto the timeline, and I've done the chroma key effect to remove the green background. So now that my clip is ready, I need to spin it. So double-click on the clip to open it up in the effects editor, and on the effects tab, choose Camera, and then you may have to scroll over a little bit, but you're looking for the rotate option. So select rotate. Now in the settings over here, you need to change this select preset to be no preset. And now you have settings here for both size and rotation of your clip. So you're going to be setting different degrees of rotation throughout the length of your video clip so that it's going to spin. So to set multiple points of rotation, you have to turn on keyframing. And so that's where you click on this little diamond icon to turn on keyframing. So down here represents the length of the video clip. By default, when you turn on keyframing, you're going to see the first keyframe here at the start of the clip, represented by a little white diamond. At this point, you're going to make sure the rotation is set to 0, because it's going to be flat with no rotation at the beginning. Now you're going to pull your cursor to about the center or so of the clip, and now you're going to right-click and add a new keyframe. Select this keyframe, and then go up here and change the rotation to make the clip go upside down, or 180 degrees. And if you click and move your cursor, you're able to actually type out 180 and hit enter. So now it's upside down. So what this means is that from this diamond to this diamond, the clip is going to rotate so that it ends up upside down by the time it reaches this particular diamond. So now you're going to make one more keyframe at the end of your clip. So right-click, create keyframe. And you're going to select that keyframe and now set the rotation for this keyframe to be 360 degrees so that it will make one full rotation over the duration of the clip. So I'm going to click here and actually type that in, 360, and hit enter. Okay, now you can click the little play button right here to preview and see if it works the way that you want it to. So here's the preview. It's a little choppy, but you can see the idea how it works. And by the time it gets to the end, it should be back to the start point. Awesome. So it's important to note that you also have control over the size, so how big or small that your clip is when you are working on the timeline. So if I change the size along the keyframes, it's going to change the size of the clip as it goes. So I didn't change the size at any point, which means every keyframe is set to be 100, which means it's going to stay the same size consistently throughout the clip. But if I wanted this to mimic that effect in that video lesson that we did, where the actor was spinning and falling down a hole, then what I would do is I would start at maybe 100%, and then on the second keyframe, I might change this down to like 75. And so I can click in here and actually type 75. Whatever I do to this one, I'm also going to want to do to this one. Otherwise, it's going to do some weird distortion here. So I'm going to click in here and change this one to 75 also. So by the time it gets to about the center of the clip, it's going to be about 75% of its original size. And then the last keyframe, I might change it to be, let's click in there, 50% maybe. And do it again, 50%. Okay, so now let's preview that really quick, and you can see how that will change. It'll start off at 100%. It will rotate, and it'll start getting smaller as it rotates as well. So now me making it smaller makes the effect that the clip is falling away or going away from me. This would also work in reverse if you wanted to animate something coming towards you also. So you can use that keyframing technique here and leave the rotation at 0 the entire time and only adjust the size if you want to have something shrink or get closer without having it spin also. You don't have to make it spin, but that's a great way to make that work. So then I can say OK, and I would let it process, And then when I'm finished, I should have a really great spin effect and kind of recreate that Fresh Prince of Bel-Air. So as a really quick reminder, before I preview this, if I want my still background to be the length of my clip, I'm going to hover and see that my clip is 13.28 seconds. So I'm going to right click and adjust the duration to be 13.28 seconds. And now my background will be the same length as my video clip, so I'm going to let that process also. Okay, now that's processed. Here I'm going to make this a little bit bigger, and let's preview and see how this looks. Pretty awesome.